I swear to God, man, if Netflix raises their prices one more time, just one more time. Hi everyone, this is a video that I wanted to do for a long time. Uh, what is the best subscription service out there? There are quite many, and I think that people are getting more picky and more considerate of the dollars that they're spending on these. Not all of them have great shows. Not all of them deserve, quite frankly, to have their own streaming service. Some of them should merge get together, in my opinion, but that is neither here nor there. Um, so yeah, I have my own opinion in mind, which is the best subscription service. But I know that's just my opinion. I got three layers of criteria that I'm gonna rank for each one. I think all of them are pretty important. So yeah, and also I'm a fan of most of these. I don't hate any of them. I think all of them have quality programming. It's just that some of them maybe aren't. Well, they don't have a lot. One, and two, they cost way too much. Um, I think Netflix raises their prices like every 3 months or something like that. It's crazy. But then again, like for the amount of content that you have, is it good enough? That's debatable. But it's adding all these subscriptions every month that it makes people go, "Whoa, a minute!" Like I can't pay for all of that, and then like I understand that very much. It's getting costly every month, paying for a new subscription. It feels like we are not getting any more. I think like Hollywood understands this. It feels like we're maybe we got as much as we can from these streaming services. Um, so without further ado, here we go. I'm starting with HBO Max. Now here in Canada, we got HBO Crave, which is a bit different. We got more stuff than just HBO. We got Showtime, and I think we got Stars as well. So the layout here is different for us, so I can't really judge it, but I kind of like the layout of Crave. It's easy to navigate. You kind of know what you're going to. The streaming service is pretty good, and not compatible with every device that you have. So that can be a bit, I'd say, not concerning, but it can be a bit like tiresome because you have to have a device that's compatible with Crave. I'm sure that HBO Max in the States is compatible with probably every device out there, but here Crave is not compatible with everything. So I got an Apple TV. I can pretty much get every app that I want. So yeah, I think the layout of HBO Max is pretty good. Not the best one in my opinion, but it's still easy to navigate. Now the price here, I'm gonna go with the HBO Max price. It's $100 with ads, and $150 a year with no ads. Now, I think that's a pretty good price for the content that you get, but still, it's pretty expensive. $150 a year with no ads, because let's face it, most people are gonna take the no ads part of this. Like, and I understand that some people might take with ads, but I mean, what's the point? It's just like watching a normal television. Um, so yeah, $150 a year with no ads is kind of steep, but with the amount of content that you have on HBO Max, I think it's worth it. I really do. I think HBO Max is quality content all around. I have not watched a show on HBO or HBO Max that I did flat out didn't like. I can't think of one. I mean, that's saying something. You got content like The Last of Us, Sopranos, Watchmen, True Detective, Chernobyl, Succession, Sopranos, The Wire, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Um, the list goes on and on. I mean, the content is phenomenal. Just for the content alone, I would say that 150 bucks a year with no ads is worth it. For me personally, I think getting HBO is really worth it. So yeah, I think HBO is a great streaming service. At the end, I'm gonna say which one is my favorite of all these. Um, but yeah, HBO is terrific. Disney Plus price 15 bucks a month, or 50 bucks a month, or 144 bucks a year. Now the price, it resembles HBO Max. I'm okay with the price. I pay my subscription Disney Plus service every year. I think it's better to do it that way than just to pay 50 bucks a month. I just pay for the whole year. I think every November. Um, Disney Plus, I think, is has a lot going for it, but I also think has a lot of negatives. Um, the layout is amazing. I think the layout of Disney Plus is the most inviting layout of all of these streaming services. Netflix is not fun at all to navigate through, but here in Disney Plus, the streaming layout is just absolutely wonderful. It's fun. It's easy to navigate. I have nothing bad to say about the layout. For the content, it's hit or miss. We had a lot of Marvel shows, a lot of Star Wars shows, not much else on there, which baffles my brain. I mean, it's Disney, for goodness sakes. You would think that Disney has the power and the money to make up anything they want, any franchise. Go. But Disney Plus feels like it's lacking a bit in content. I know I love my Star Wars. I think they've done really good Star Wars stuff on there. Marvel, not so much. Marvel's been hit and miss, but overall, I think Star Wars is really good. The Star Wars shows are really impressive in my opinion. Well, not all of them, but most of them. But yeah, what else did we get? Do we get on there? Like, I love that we get movies that are new releases the day they come out on Disney Plus. That's great. Like, I think that the Poirot movies have just like they come out and they are released directly to Disney Plus, so you don't have to rent or buy them. I think that's terrific. But then again, Avatar didn't do that. Avatar actually waited until got like it released on iTunes first, and then you had to rent it or buy it, and then it released on this Disney Plus. So it depends on which movie, I guess. But yeah, it baffles my brain that Disney won't make other franchises, other series. Just come up with original stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be always a known IP. You can branch out. Lucasfilm, branch out. I mean, Marvel, or just anything at all. Just create new series. I know they tried with Willow and it didn't really work out, but like, is that really what you're gonna base your risk taking on with Willow? I mean, just create new things. It kind of actually really it bothers me a bit because You would know. You would think that Disney has limited amounts of money and that they could create anything they want, but they just keep making the same thing over and over again. I think people are realizing it. Uh, Disney has been had a rough box office year in 2023. I think people are realizing that the content is not that great anymore. Yeah, it's really bad. We're not getting great animated movies anymore. We're not getting The Lion King, Aladdin, or Mulan even. We're not getting these anymore, and it's kind of sad that Disney is not putting effort anymore really in with their content. It is. It's a bummer. Now, I still really like Disney Plus. Don't get me wrong. Disney Plus is one of my favorites. I probably use it almost every day. Um, just watching like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia up there, or other sitcoms. There's Malcolm in the Middle, and no, I really like Disney Plus. It's got the home of Star Wars, the home of Marvel. So yeah, I think Disney Plus is worth it on the long run. Just you have to be a fan of these things. If you're not a fan of these things, then I would just like don't don't even pay for Disney Plus. But if you're a fan of like Marvel, Star Wars, of course you have Disney. Of course, I mean it's where all these shows are and all the movies are. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Disney Plus. Now on to Netflix. Now Netflix, I think the prices are outrageous. I kill me. I think they're for what you get. I think that it's still in. It's not reasonable. No, I can't do it. It's not reasonable. You got decent content, but then again, what here it's like the opposite of Disney Plus. Here it's too much quantity over quality. Um, how many Netflix movies do you see while you're surfing through the streaming service, and how many of them are actually good? That's my question. Um, it's not a great. I think that the layout here is very terrible. The Netflix layout it hurts my brain every time I get on there. It's hard to just search for something new. If you know what you're about to watch, then I guess it's okay. But like, if you search for something new, I'm usually out of there in like 5 minutes. I don't want to stay there. Do you? I mean, do you want to stay on Netflix? You got great content like Stranger Things, The Crown, The Queen's Gambit, Kingdom, Squid Game, Alice in Borderlands, which I was not a fan of, but I know a lot of people who are. Arcane, Ozark, Umbrella Academy, Love is Blind, etc. The content on Netflix is actually really good in my opinion. They make quality series, but the movies they need work, and they can like drop 200 million, and the movie stinks. It's so subpar, kind of like The Gray Man with Ryan Gosling. It should have been better. It should have been better, and it's just that Netflix right now, I feel isn't that great of a streaming service, and I know it lost a lot of subscribers. The stocks went down. Um, I don't think it's worth it for the price that the content that are offering. That's not worth it with the price. It's too steep. It's always gonna raise up, and we're gonna suffer through it. I know a lot of people are not subscribed to Netflix anymore. I'm not there yet, but I might get there. Out of all of these streaming services, I think Netflix might be one of my least favorite ones. It started out strong, but this is where we are. I don't think it's all that fantastic. Um, yeah, those are my thoughts on Netflix. Amazon Prime. Prime Video, I think, is a pretty good streaming service. The layout here, I think, it's pretty easy to navigate. I don't hate the layout. It's very standard. It's standard, but it's still good. The price for Amazon, is like 15 bucks a month, which is pretty good. It's not all terrible. It rounds to 140 bucks a year. But here we get to the content, and I feel like the content on Amazon have been hit or miss. Um, at first, I really was glad with the content on there, but over time, I feel like they made some misses. I think the great contents are The Boys and the Gen V universe. I think that might be my favorite content on Amazon, along with Reacher season one. I thought Reacher season one was fantastic. The Expanse, I've never really got into it, but I know people who have. Jack Ryan, Fleabag, Carnival Row, which I actually really enjoyed the first season of Carnival Row. Wonderful Miss Maisie, Invincible. I think those are some pretty good investments. Jack Ryan, one of them. I really enjoyed the first three seasons of Jack Ryan. I still haven't seen the first one, but I really enjoyed them. Now we go to bad investments, like Rings of Power. I think was such a monumental failure. It was just awful. Wheel of Time, I think, is not much better. I think I've watched almost two seasons of it, and I almost can't take it anymore. It's nothing like the books. It's poorly directed. The acting is meh. I'm not a fan of Wheel of Time, and also The Wilds. What I thought was a missed show. Could have been better. I liked the first season, and then I thought the second season just fell off the rails. I did not even finish it. Um, so yeah, I think Amazon Prime is worth it. Especially if you're already subscribed to the Prime subscription, and you can delivery service, and you can. I think the streaming goes along for free, so I think it's worth it. Overall, yeah, I'm a fan of Amazon Prime Video. I don't see myself canceling it anytime soon, but yeah, I think it's a pretty good streaming service. Okay, now we're getting to the Apple Plus content. Apple Plus, I think, is pretty good. There've been some hit or miss shows for me on there. I really enjoyed the Silo Shrinking. Ted Lasso I liked for the first season. I did not like season 2 or 3. Silo was really good, actually. Hijack was okay. I thought was okay at best. For All My Mankind, I did not get into. Foundation, I did not get into. The Morning Show, I did not get into. Mornak Legacy of Monsters shows a bit of promise, so we'll see. I think the layout of Apple Plus is pretty good. It's easy to navigate. It's not hard to get in there and to search for shows. The content there, I don't think is enough for the price that they're asking, because they already raised the price, and I get it. You have to raise the price every few months, but I mean, come on, you did not need to raise the Apple Plus price, especially not for the content that we're getting. We don't have enough content on there. I'm sorry, it's almost not worth it. Also, they don't have like other movies from other networks. They just have Apple Plus content. So you just watch their stuff and you're out of there. I mean, you don't really navigate for hours on Apple Plus, probably not. So yeah, I think that they should not raise their price anymore. If like they raise their prices to like $20 a month, I mean, I'm out of there. I'm not subscribing to Apple Plus. So yeah, I think Apple Plus is a fine streaming service. Not the best one on this list, but I think it's all right. Now we're getting to Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, I think, is a pretty good service. $12 a month. Now I actually think the layout of Paramount Plus is pretty good. Nothing to write home about, but you can easily find your shows and your movies, and you don't have to swipe or search for long. I think it's very inviting. not complicated. Yeah, I don't mind spending some time on Paramount Plus to just search through their content to see what they have. Um, the content is it's actually pretty decent on there. You got shows like the Yellowstone universe. Um, you also got one of my favorite series on network television right now. It's from season 1 and 2. I thought was terrific. So yeah, and you also got like all the movies that come along with it. So I think fair it's a fair streaming service to have. Paramount Plus, it's not a terrible one. It's actually a pretty good investment. And while I think that the show Leoness Special Ops was a failure, it was really a failure. Overall, I think that the Paramount Plus is a pretty good streaming service to have. My last one on this list is AMC Plus. I'm not subscribed to AMC Plus anymore. I was a while ago, to try it out. I think the layout of AMC Plus is all right. It's not terrific, but it's okay. The content is also pretty good. You got the Walking Dead universe. You got a Breaking Bad universe. You also got shows like Mad Men. Uh, it's actually a pretty good streaming service if you're a fan of all of these things. Uh, Now the streaming service itself would actually lag a bit, and sometimes the show would stop. Like I would watch a show and it would just end, and I would have to come back a few times before it actually worked again. This happened not once but a few times, and I think that's a problem with the AMC Plus. Overall, I think the maybe the streaming service isn't working properly. It froze a few times, and but yeah, overall, AMC Plus, I think it's a decent one if you're a fan of like Breaking Bad or Mad Men. You want to watch these shows over and over again. Then yeah, I think AMC Plus is a good one to get. Now, my favorite one of all these, I think, is HBO. HBO has made the best content out there. Their quality over quantity. They make quality shows every time they put one out, like almost every time. I just love these shows. The Last of Us was absolutely wonderful. Chernobyl, for goodness sake, was one of my favorite shows ever. Game of Thrones, Watchmen, The Wire. For the content, it has to be HBO Max. There's nothing better in my opinion. For the layout, it's got to be Disney Plus. For me, the layout is just fun to navigate through, and it's easy to find things that you want to watch. And the worst one on this list is probably not Netflix, but Netflix I'm starting to be not a huge fan of. Uh, Maybe Netflix. Maybe Netflix is the worst one of this list. Apple is close, but like I said, I don't hate any of these streaming services. I'm subscribed to all of them. It's just that yeah, Netflix. I think the prices are getting much too high, and the layout is just very hard to navigate through. And also, why do they put like scenes of the movies when you don't click on them and you stay on them, and there's like scenes that appear? Why not just put a trailer instead? A trailer tells you much more of the idea of the movie than just watching like a scene of it. So yeah, I think that Netflix here is probably the worst one, and the best one is HBO Max. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know your thoughts about what your favorite streaming service is down in the comments below. See you next time.